Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a pro violation. Yard down! Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I was arrested. Eventually, I was sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I ended up serving 24 years straight in the California prison system. During those times, I accumulated some good stories. I'm going to share one with y'all today. If you like the video, hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and most importantly, hit that notification bell. That way, anytime I drop a story, you will be notified ASAP, and you can hop on it whenever you're ready. Now, with all that being said, let's jump right up into this story. Now, this story today is about this dude by the name of D. That's his real name. That's his real picture right there in the thumbnail. I rarely put a real person's name out there, but keeping it 100, I didn't care much for this dude, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna do it like that with him, right? So anyway, now I originally met D at CMC East. Now when I met D at CMC East, he was an all right dude, you know. We would holler a little bit, we talk from time to time, you know, play a little cards or whatever. But there are times when you see dudes like this on a level 4 or a level 3, they quiet as a church house mouse. Then when they get down to a level 2, they start acting different, doing things that they wouldn't do at these other prisons, because the assumption is that with some people that since I'm on a level 2, it's softer down here, I can do what I want to do. Now, for those of you guys unfamiliar with the California prison system and how it works, you have a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Level 1 being, minimum security. Level 2 also being minimum and medium, so on and so forth. Level 3 and level 4 is more of a heightened security, maximum security, I guess you could say, right? And so on a level 2, a lot of times you have, people who are short, who aren't doing, when I say short, I mean they're not doing much time, 16 months, 3-4 years or whatever. And then you don't have a lot of lifers. You do have some lifers, but not as much. You have basically people trying to do their time and go home. And in these instances, sometimes all of a sudden dudes, they get extra tough, they get extra hard and start trying to push a line or act in a way that they wasn't acting on some of those more prisons with more bodies, because you can say what you want to say, right? CMC East had that A yard. I saw more people knocked out, more people busted up and beat up than a lot of other prisons, due to the fact that there's not a lot of structure at CMC East, and it's not structured in the way other prisons are. You have some dudes who think that they can overstep certain boundaries that they wouldn't do at other prisons, and they always run across somebody that's not going for it, and they get beep, boop, beep, bop, busted up real quick. Now, like I said, me and D, we was kind of cool, we'd holler, chop it up from time to time, talk and chill. I remember actually one time, I had a good friend of mine by the name of Dallas. Now, Dallas was from the LA area, didn't gang bang, and him and D was gambling, playing pinochle, and Dallas asked me if I knew how to play. He wanted a partner, right? So we started playing. Now, D, I failed to mention, D was probably about 6 feet, 6'1", maybe about 215, 220 pounds. Older dude, probably in his mid to late 50s. I mean, excuse me, mid to probably early to mid 50s. He had done some time and stuff. And Dallas was, like I say, a cool dude, a non-affiliate. He didn't gang bang up out of the Lancaster area, which is like not too far from Los Angeles. So during the course of this game, for whatever reason, D just rears up and starts talking real crazy to Dallas, to the point where I had to step in and say, hey man, hey D, look man, Dallas is cool, homie. Don't get at him like that, man. Dude, it's cool. Why you tripping like that? So we finished the hand or whatever, or maybe the game, and then just got up and left, So that was the only time I ever seen D, even act like, he was tough. And like I say, it was with a dude who was, everybody would think he was cool, kind of a goofy dude, but Dallas was real cool. So fast forward, we get to CMC West yard, which is a 2 yard now. And now D started acting like a little weird over there. Like I said, at CMC West, you got dudes that's not doing a lot of time, and I had a friend of mine by the name of Horse, man, from Compton. And Horse had life, and he would always say, yeah, Chili, sometimes, man, these dudes know that we got life, man, and they'll try to act tough and do certain stuff, because as a lifer, if you happen to get in some trouble, and especially a fight, you can definitely believe that when you go to your next board hearing, you're going to get a 3 or a 5 year denial for being in a fight, as opposed to a person who don't have life. They get into a fight. They might be going home in a year. They stay out of trouble for 60 days, submit a form, and get their time right back. So it's the repercussions is extremely small, for a person who don't have life. As long as you don't get in a lot of as long as you don't get in a lot of disciplinary trouble back to back, you can submit that form. And so now, maybe about a month after I got my date, and when you get a date as a lifer, it's news, it spreads around the yard, right? So I get my date. So now I'm chilling, I'm trying to stay out the way. Now we out there playing dominoes, right? And for some reason, the dude D happened to say something towards me, like, we just at the table chilling, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, this old IE ass nigga or some shit like that, right? So I'm like, man, what the hell is you talking about? He said something. I said, well, what's happening with you then? So I said, let's get up and go behind the building, right? So we go over there. We walk to the building. Behind the building, there's a little blind spot, so we can go over there, get our scrap on. So I'm like, what's up? He like, oh, what's up with you? I'm like, what's up? He like, oh, you ain't talking about nothing. And to keep it 100 with y'all, I definitely wasn't trying to get in no trouble and mess my date off, right? But I was real mad that this dude would even do that, knowing that I had got a date. Like I'm saying, this dude knew that I was a lifer. So we walked back to the table and sat down and continue playing. But I was hot, now. So maybe about a month or two later, they having a domino tournament, a card tournament in this area at CMC West, where they have a lot of, it's like a park type area. And so I didn't participate in that. So as that's going on, all of a sudden the alarm go off. That means everybody got to lay down and stuff like that. So maybe about 10 minutes later, if I can remember correctly, the COs come walking, and either they got D with them, or they sent one of those little, like, they have these little golf carts that kind of acted as an ambulance, and they have the golf cart go pick the dude up. So for whatever reason, somebody said, oh yeah, man, D didn't fell out. D passed out, But then later on, somebody said, oh no, man, D got knocked out, man. For the purposes of this story, we're going to call this dude Duck. Now, I had been knowing Duck since maybe about 2001. We were in Ironwood together. We worked in the kitchen together. And Duck was a cook. So on the days that they would give us juice, the juice would come in these big old giant containers that they would have to put on this giant can opener. And they put the top on, it had this big old metal thing. It's like, something that you would see in the kitchen. And then the top was real big, a big old metal top. And you could fold those tops and make knives up out of those tops. And so Duck would give me the tops, and I would sneak the tops out so he could make knives and stuff. And so now when I got to CMC West, I seen Duck. He's like, hey, chill, what's going on, man? Let me holler at you. So he said, of course, I got a knife, man. If you need one, come get at me. He always, Duck played with them knives, always kept them knives. And I believe Duck was from San Diego 30s. Duck was an older dude, real cool, dark-skinned dude, maybe about 5'9", maybe 190 pounds. Cool dude. So I guess Duck and D are in this tournament against each other, playing cards or dominoes or whatever. I forget exactly I forget exactly which one it was, right? But anyway, at some point in time, D go to talking crazy, I guess thinking that Duck was soft because he was older or whatever, not knowing that Duck is with the business. So when D go to fat mouthing, Duck just stand up and boom, bing, put that two-piece on him, knock him smooth out, knock him out, leave him laying on the yard. He get up and he push. So I guess at some point when the CO seen him laid out, they hit the button, came over there and got him. D got up, I guess, and must have told him he passed out, it was too hot, or whatever he told him. So D, he claimed the gang from LA. I'm not going to say what gang he claimed, but he claimed the gang, right? And so now, after he get knocked out for running his mouth, he go get at his homeboys, and tell them what happened or whatever. So it's brewing in the air, what's going to happen. Now, Duck, who is a Crip from San Diego 30s, but he also at some point in time had started doing the Muslim thing. And that kind of put him in a conundrum, because now, while he was doing the Muslim thing, he still was kind of like straddling the fence, you know what I'm saying, from what I end up hearing. And so due to that reason, his homies from San Diego, they were saying, oh man, well, he a Muslim. The Muslims were saying, oh man, he a Crip. So basically he was kind of left on his own to deal with D and his homeboys. But if you ask me, really, those was just excuses made by both of those factions not to support the brother. Now, I will say from time to time, Duck had a reputation for getting in trouble and staying in trouble. And so maybe that had something to do with it too. Now, unbeknownst to D and his homeboy, like I said, Duck played with them knives. And so now the stuff is brewing, going on for a day or two. So now maybe in a day or two at night yard, which is we come out for the yard at nighttime, D had went and got a couple of his homeboys, man. I'm not going to say their names, right? But they was both older dudes. One dude was a bigger dude, man, maybe about 6 feet, 6'1", maybe about 240, 250. You could tell he used to be real muscular back in his day, and they got a little hefty like some of the cats do when they get older. He was real cool too. I used to play dominoes a lot with him too. I can't remember the name of the other dude he went and got. But anyway, so as Duck is outside on the yard, walking the yard, and Duck is, of course, he's aware that this trouble is brewing, is still in the air, right? So as he's walking past, all of a sudden, these two homeboys that went and got, they step out there and try to rush Duck. Boom, beep, bop, boom. They go to swinging on him, not knowing that Duck had that knife on him. So Duck whip out. Woo! Duck get up on one of them and try to hit one of them. He lift his arm up. The knife like catch him and fly. The knife hit his arm and fly off and on the ground. Then he turned around and square off with another one. And then the police started coming around the corner. Somebody said, hey, here come the CO, here come the CO. So everybody dispersed and got on. And luckily for all of them, they never saw it. Now, they did see that he had that kisu on him. And so after that, they just left Duck alone because they knew Duck played with them things, right? But the cold part about all that is, while his homeboys rushed Duck, the dude D was nowhere around. You know what I'm saying? And so now, that looks real bad. You done created a situation. You let your homeboys go and try to clean up a situation and rush a dude who you started the stuff by running your mouth, fat mouthing, and you don't even get involved. And then, so for the rest of his time on that yard until I left, the boy D was quiet as a church house mouse. He never did nothing. He never approached the boy Duck no more. He left it all alone. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, he ended up getting out. That's his picture in the thumbnail that I snatched off Facebook. And so, yeah, that's him, man. That's old D. And so that's how some people, man, sometimes they too hard for the 2 yard and they think they tough. And once they get them hammers put on them, then they sit back, they play their position, and they, be the little soft cats that they are. So anyway, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.